I have a good bit.
All right, Chema.
So,
What's your bit? I have one too, but let's start with yours.
so this is uh so the my senior manager at my job, so like the floor manager, so like the second in command at my job, this guy that I it was a fucking headache and a half that
Uh-huh.
I've hated ever since I started working there, and that everyone in the floor in my office hated. Guess what
Uh-huh.
happened yesterday?
He died.
He got fired.
Ooh.
So he got
And he
fired yesterday. And dude, when I tell you that my office, like the vibes, immaculate.
died.
Like I have never seen so much unity. It looked like a fucking High School Musical movie. Like everyone was just having the time of their life, just celebrating uh this guy. Like we were there was dancing, there was music,
Are
there
you
was
shitting me?
there was a guy behind me singing the opening number from Wicked, which is called Nobody Mourns the Wicked, or No One Mourns the Wicked.
Are you joking? Are
Uh
you being serious?
I'm not joking. This was hilarious yesterday.
Oh my.
Um a coworker went out and returned, and he had bought like gorditas de azúcar, like bought it for everyone, was like, "Hey, everyone, ah!" So like
Why was this guy so hated? What did he do?
oh, he was just the worst, man.
But okay, like, did he deserve it, or was he just like tried? He was a tryhard. Like, what is this?
Both.
This.
He was a tryhard and was horrible at the same time.
Oh no. Okay. All right then. I guess poor
Yeah.
bastard can't even get fired in peace.
Yeah. So I've been happy since yesterday. I've been having a good time, and I'm gonna yeah, I'm in a good mood. And
I'm I'm glad. I hope we can continue that good mood.
heck yeah, we will. So what was your bit?
Oh, I was gonna mention, did you hear that blue so this is gonna start off sad, it's gonna end up funny and then get sad again and then funny again. So Blue Cross Blue Shield in Connecticut and two other states, right there, health insurance agency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
So they had announced initially that they were gonna stop covering anesthesia if a surgery went too long or was too short. They were not gonna cover the anesthesia. And then the United Healthcare CEO gets gunned down in New York, and they immediately are like, JK, JK, we're not doing that now. Which, I mean, if all it took was a few bullets, I mean, I wonder how many more bullets would we need to get universal healthcare now?
I mean,
Everything's getting covered now, guys.
I don't want to be that guy, but like
But someone should be that guy.
how do you believe in how do you feel about stats and like, odds and everything?
Uh, depends. Expand on that.
I'm just saying, last year, the day that Spotify Rap dropped,
Uh,
Henry Kissinger died. And then yesterday, Spotify Rap drops, and then this guy gets unalived. So I don't want to say it's a coincidence. I'm not gonna say it's not a coincidence. It's
look,
just very interesting.
all I'm saying is that all healthcare CEOs should strongly reconsider how often they are denying claims. That's all I have to say.
Well,
You
that's
know,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
not
I mean,
insinuating anything, you fucking greedy motherfuckers. I saw a savage tweet that said, before anything else, I just want to tell the family of Henry,
this
whatever the fuck
guy.
his name was. Um, just so you guys are aware, health insurance does not consider after therapy a medical necessity. So don't go get it unless you're prepared to pay after pocket, assholes. Yeah, yeah, we're
Uh,
taking no prisoners today, folks. Chema knows why. Chema, let's fucking go to the conclave.
Thank you for welcoming us into your headphones. My name is Chema.
And I am an altar boy who knows better.
Anything you want to get off your chest, my son?
Uh, Actually, no, because again, I know better.
Reviewing Conclave, and this is the rollback. What happens behind these walls will change everything. After the unexpected death of the Pope, Cardinal Lawrence is tasked with managing the covert and ancient ritual of electing a new one, sequestered in the Vatican with the Catholic Church's most powerful leaders until the process is complete. Lawrence finds himself at the center of a conspiracy that could lead to its downfall. So we have the movie Conclave, directed by Edward Verger, who previously directed the All Quiet in the Western Front movie, which swept at the Oscars and only at the Oscars, starring Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, Isabella Rossellini, Lucian Mismati, Carlos Diaz, and Sergio Castellitto. So I was really looking forward to this movie. I wanted to see it in theaters, but then when I was finally at the US visiting y'all and thought that I could catch it because it's not gonna come out here until February, damn it. Turns out they took the movie out, but they put it on VOD, so I was able to see it with you at your house, which was a pretty fun time. Um, so we got to see this together with no subtitles, even though they speak like five different languages in this. So that was pretty fun. I didn't struggle with the English or the Spanish, and I kind of mangled a little bit with the Italian. I don't know how you did, or if you had to rewatch it again with subtitles.
I understood the Spanish. I did struggle with the Italian. It's particularly the speech by the hateful. We'll get to him when we get to him.
Yeah,
But no, like that was the one part where I was like, "What the fuck? I can't keep up with this guy." All I know is that something he said something about Islam. So I'm
yeah,
assuming he's scapegoating people.
yeah. So yeah, so there's a lot going on here. I thought the story for this was really interesting. I love me a good drama. I love me a good walk and talk movie. I love me a good movie about Catholic guilt. So this to me was a pretty fun. And when I started hearing that this was basically an episode of Gossip Girl, but in the Vatican, I was like, heck yeah,
I
this is my
mean,
kind of shit. Like,
I already know the subtitle for the video review when it goes up. Mean
yeah.
Girls, but with the Vatican.
How about Mean Fathers?
Mean Fathers. I don't know if that's gonna get more views, but we're gonna find out.
We'll see.
Oh my God,
Uh,
I can fuck with the background to make it pink. I
heck
can
yeah.
make their clothing pink. I think I can do this.
Heck yeah.
Let's get back to Mean Girls, Church Edition.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you
Mean
think?
Fathers.
So you liked it?
I liked it. Okay. Here's the thing. I genuinely went into this thinking I was not gonna like it at all because I'm not a big church person. Unfortunately, and they do refer to this in the during the show, I mean during the film. All the scandals, particularly with little boys,
Yeah.
kind of turned me off the church for a while.
Yeah.
Um, and so I kind of went into this thinking I'm not really gonna enjoy it. Now it turns out I really like some good tea, and there was so much tea in this. Like
Yeah.
there was.
Yeah. It's pretty much the best. I found this movie to be very accessible. Like I think anyone, like regardless of your cultural background or if you're into religion or anything, gossip is a universal language. Like
Fortunately.
look, look, there's some good gossip from here, like from my city,
Uh-huh.
that has been like ongoing and like that like people that live here know it. And I've seen videos of like Korean girls being like, "Oh my God, do you know about this gossip in Mexico?" Like
Are you
it's
shitting me?
like it's gotten that far. It's really fun. So that's how you know. Okay, that's how you
I
know.
had no idea. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
What
So
the gossip is? Like, give me like a short version.
it's like a long story. So basically, there were these two female comedians that used to do this show together,
Okay.
and they used to perform, and they used to go to parties, and they used to have a TV show, and they were in the news, and they were in like a lot of things, and like they were lifelong friends, and they did like a show together, and then one of them got cancer, and then they kept performing, they kept on trucking, they kept on trucking, and then her cancer went into remission, and everyone was so happy for her. And then and then at the end of one of her shows, she said, "Hey everyone, I just want to say this is our last show. I will no longer be performing with her for the rest of my life." Turns out that while she was having cancer and going through chemo, this woman slept with this woman's husband. Like it's
I, hmm,
mm,
okay. Is the husband getting the same heat though?
yes.
Okay, good. I want to make sure.
But the husband is not famous. So
Oh my God. Is she still married to him or is she divorcing him?
he wasn't coerced. No, I mean, she wasn't coerced. She wanted to do it.
No,
So,
what I'm saying is like, is the husband like, he needs to be crucified. They need to make his ass famous in the worst ways.
I mean, if you hear the whole story, like this is very much her fault. This is the one time where like, yeah, it's her fault. Sorry to be that way, but
Oh man. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's the short version. But yeah, no, gossip is a universal language. We all love a good tea, even us, two guys in our 30s. We love that shit. So
You
here
think
we
we're
have
Hispanic? Do you think that's part of the problem?
it is very much so. So it's good that in this movie because like something really funny happened where like we were watching this movie and there were parts that were very serious and I was laughing and you would look at me like, why are you laughing? And I'll be like, it's funny. Like, this is a comedy. It's a comedy in
What the
disguise, but it's a
fuck
comedy.
am I?
No, like, it's not even that, like, oh, it's a mean thing, then you're not supposed to. No, no, it was genuinely a funny thing. Like, John Lithgow's character, Tremblay, uh, he was funny. He was like a very like pathetic character that was very funny to like laugh at him anytime that he would mess up. So I can't explain it. It's like one of those things that like you know when you're there. But I also like that besides the movie being funny and besides it being its own thing, I like that it's a very beautiful movie to look at. Like the shots that they got of the conclave of all of them like walking around off the church, off the actual cathedrals. Beautiful movie to look at. I think it's definitely gonna get like a cinematography nod because just because of the way the movie looks.
I remember you were like, that's such a beautiful shot when they're walking across in the rain with the umbrellas.
Oh yeah, there's like a ton of them. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm like, I tried counting for sure. There's more than 99 in that shot. There has to be more than 99 because that shot goes on
It
for a minute.
Yeah, but like it's I think it's more to represent like how it feels. Like
Style.
yeah, because it's like in all the and I really like Ralph Fiennes. Like I know we all like seeing him as a villain. You know, he's played some amazing villains, both in the past and in the and more recently. But my favorite performance from him is Monsieur Gustave from the Grand Budapest Hotel, and I always hated that there was never another performance like that. You know, and this weirdly I think is the closest we get in a weird way.
I felt like Ralph Fiennes, like he's very underrated comedy because
Yeah,
he looks too serious to ever do a comedy. But no, like if he wants to do a comedy, he is legitimately hilarious.
yeah, and like for example, he was serious in the menu, but like he was funny, you know, like he was serious funny at the same time, you know.
Have you seen The King's Man?
Oh no, I have not,
He was
not
good
yet.
in that. It has similar like this is not your usual shtick energy.
Yeah.
It's not amazing, but it's very different. There's a very weird scene with Rasputin licking his leg and healing his wound. It's
Oh
weird.
God.
It's very weird. Almost actually turned me off the whole movie. I was like, this is too stupid, but okay, fine, whatever.
Okay.
It was also one of the worst movies ever made. I didn't
Which
realize
one?
that. Holmes and Watson. He played Professor Moriarty.
Oh no, I never saw that.
Don't.
But yeah, no, I mean he's always been good. Like even in bad movies, I think he always gives a good performance. And he's perfectly cast in this. To me, he's like the perfect person to lead this movie. I like very much like his character. Uh, uh, Cardinal Lawrence, which I found out something funny recently. Did you know that so the way to refer to a cardinal is by first name, cardinal, last name?
So it'd be Eddie Cardinal Luna.
Yes,
So it would be Jose Cardinal Garza.
pretty much.
Huh. It's weird.
It is weird, but yeah. So it's so he plays Thomas Cardinal Lawrence, who is the British cardinal, and then he's the dean of the College of Cardinals, which means that he directs the conclave, and um, and that means that he's also eligible for the papacy, which is funny because like I thought you only if you were a cardinal you could be the pope. It turns out any Catholic man can be the pope.
Are you
You
shitting
just
me?
have to, yeah, you just have to be Catholic. But who's the fuck is going to know you if you're not, there in the College of Cardinals? It's weird
So
for
what
some
I'm
reason.
hearing is that if I donate enough money, I could become the Pope.
I don't think you need to pay money to be a Catholic. I think you just need to feel guilt in your heart.
No, 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 but I need to buy the Cardinals. Hey, if you vote for me, I'll donate $50 million to your church.
You
To your
believe it or not, that's a plot point in this movie. So,
pretty fucking much, actually. But yeah,
yeah,
so what I'm hearing is if I give enough money, I can win.
yeah. So I mean, but that's not religion. That's politics. So,
Pope Pope Edward the Fourth. I can do that. I'm down.
you can't use your real name though.
No, there is an actual Pope Edward.
Oh, damn it. Uh, anyway, so the movie starts with this very solemn, very dark moment where like the Pope passes away, and we see all the cardinals kind of slowly like take their moment to like process it, and then immediately start the conclave process in order to elect a new Pope. Which I've been alive for about 30 years. I've seen three popes, maybe four. I don't remember. I was really tiny when like
Three.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I weirdly know the process. Like I'm aware of the of how the process works. I was aware that they get together, they vote, and they put the white smoke if the Pope is elected. So I like that we got to see like a little bit of the process. It's kind of like the bear, but like what the bear did for like restaurants, but for
The church.
conclave, I guess. But it was really fun. It was really fun to see like that behind the scenes of like how it works, how they kind of lock themselves in those rooms, how they have like the windows blocked, how there's a moment where Lawrence's assistant goes up to him and tells him like, "Hey, we need to like put metal bars like outside of the windows because people are going to touch the walls and feel the vibrations and use that to decode what you're talking about." And it's like that is insane, and also something that would definitely happen. Yes. Uh, and so we have the possible America's Next submodels. So we have uh, Aldo Cardinal Bellini, who played by Stanley Tucci. He's the American Cardinal. John
He's the
Lithgow.
favorite.
Yeah, he is pretty much the favorite, even though he says he doesn't want it, which is a bunch of hoopla. But yeah. Then Joseph Cardinal Tremblay, who is played by John Lithgow, and he's the Canadian uh, Cardinal. Sergio Castellitto, who plays Goffredo Cardinal Tedesco, who is the Italian Cardinal, and Joshua Cardinal Adeyemi, who plays the Nigerian Cardinal. And then in the last moment, I don't know where comes the dark horse, who is let me get his name. Vincent Cardinal Benitez, played by Carlos Diaz, who is a little known Mexican archbishop, and he is in Afghanistan. So yeah, he comes out of nowhere. Turns out he was secretly made a cardinal by the Pope, which is why no one else knew him. And it's which is a real process. This is actually a real process. They call it impectore, which is where the Pope makes you a cardinal in secret so that you can be sent out to places where they know they will be rejected or chased after.
Yeah.
So that's why that so that but he's there. So this becomes a little game, a little popularity contest. It's very much like high school. Like they all start voting, and they can never get along. And this pope that passed away was kind of liberal, And there's this guy that is very anti that. He wants to make away with all the progressiveness that the church has done and make it more far right again.
That would be
That being,
Tedesco.
yeah, that'll be Tedesco, so the Italian one.
Probably the worst choice of them all because he also makes no, he doesn't try to hide it. Like this is very much a political game in this film, and there's no attempt to hide how he even says at one point the Pope has to be an Italian. That's the
Yeah,
requirement, and he must be Italian.
yeah,
Speak Italian, like very much, very initially subtle and then not so subtle hints of like superiority, you
yeah,
know. I think does he even say at one point, I might be imagining this, but doesn't he like crack something about like we can't have a black pope?
yes,
Which again is very like, hey folks, newsflash for you. Being Anglo does not necessarily mean that only Anglos can be racist. This Italian person was very racist, very conservative, very traditionalist, far right Italian. Um, but he's not the only one though. Even where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Cardinal Adenini? I can't.
Adeyemi,
Joshua, Cardinal Joshua
Cardinal Adeyemi, yes,
Adenini, yeah. Even
for the
him,
Nigerian candidate.
even he like has some conservative views, but he's kind of so they start off with the first vote, which kind of tells everyone where you're at,
Yeah,
as far as getting votes and whatnot. Even Voldemort gets a few votes. Um, but after that is when the trickle down political games begin to play. We can start with the first significant scandal, I would say, which is when um, Cardinal Joshua is essentially outed as having a child.
yeah.
Um,
Not
and
only having a child, but like he was like 30 years older than like this woman who
that too,
he
that's
had.
right. I forgot about yeah, she was 19 and he was like 40 something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So which is I mean, that's scummy all by itself. But like yeah,
But
he's outed
but
for
then
having
it's also like he abandoned it. Like it's like yeah. But then something else comes at play here, which is not only did he do that, but he's being set up for this to come out.
at a certain time.
Yeah,
Somehow a certain individual who we will get to in a moment made arrangements for this one particular nun to be brought over and have her holy shit moment with this guy, which I don't know if she knew he was there. I don't remember that.
yeah. I don't think so.
Um, so we have that going on, and it he has this moment where he even says like, "Does one moment of weakness in my youth ruin the rest of my life?" And Ralph finds he says something along the lines of, "Look, it doesn't ruin your whole life, but yeah, you can't be the Pope.
Yeah, like absolutely not.
Like no,
Like you will never be the Pope
like
because even if they don't find out what you did, they're already talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's enough."
And I forgot to mention, but probably my favorite part of the whole movie is this speech that Ralph Fiennes gives at the beginning of the conclave, like before they go into the voting session, and he kind of tells everyone to like, "Hey, we're not looking for a saint here.
Mhm.
Let's look for a pope that kind of embraces being wrong and kind of embraces like doubting, because that's where you find faith."
Yeah,
And it's such a small little moment that I really like. And then you can see that everyone is pissed off at him by saying it. And
because
at first I thought it's like, how dare you? How dare you doubt the mighty of God? How dare you doubt our faith? But no, no, they hated it because it's like, motherfucker, now you're gonna look good in front of everyone.
I think it was that, but I think also some part of it he destabilized everything because everyone most likely knew where they were voting going into it.
Yeah,
But then the second that he made that speech, any of the non-front runners were like, he's got a point. Maybe I should go with this way instead of that way. He got everyone thinking. And
yeah,
I guarantee you that destabilized the first vote.
yeah. Which is really funny because like I'm pretty sure that was not his intention. Like his intention was just like, hey everyone, like let's play fair, let's
A
all get
rah-rah
along.
speech.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that's what's it, but like everyone is looking like pissed off at him, especially Bellini, who's Stanley Tucci's character, because even though he's the front runner to win from like the liberal side, because like you can tell that this is like a left-right situation. He's the most popular like choice as like liberal, but he says that he doesn't want it. Which I don't know if this is supposed to be like a Dune situation where it's like he's too humble to be the savior. Like obviously that means he is, you know? Or like what
Those
exactly?
memes.
Listen al game. Yeah. So I don't know if it's that exactly or what, but because Lawrence made himself look good, now they're splitting the vote between the two of them. And it's like, no, they should all be on one side because even like among the same side, they're getting split up. So Bellini kind of knows that he doesn't want to do it, but he prefers that it be him than it be Benitez. I mean, sorry, T Tedesco. Yeah,
Initially, but then it so Joshua Cardinal Joshua he gets knocked out, and then I believe the next scandal we had gotten a little previous clip of it beforehand, but this is when John Lithgow's character Cardinal Tremblay,
yeah,
it was alleged that he was actually fired by the Pope, but they can
yeah,
find no paperwork about it initially. But Lawrence or Cardinal Voldemort goes in, actually breaks the seal, goes into the Pope's private quarters and finds the documents to prove it. Now, initially, Stanley Tucci's character, Bellini, is like, look, this can't come out. We need to hide this. Let's put it away. Let's pretend like this never happened. You know, there must be a reason for it. Almost acting as a coward, right?
yeah.
Like, no, like we can't do this. Keeping his head down, because that's always worked in the Catholic Church, right? You see something's wrong, put your fucking head down. Oh, I'm gonna take all my shots. I am Catholic. I'm gonna take all my fucking shots. Um, Anyway, but Cardinal Lawrence does the right thing, makes several copies of this report, presents it to everyone to almost assassinate Tremblay's character. And there's a moment where Tremblay is almost able to turn it and says, "This is a conspiracy against me," blah blah blah. And it's not until Sister Agnes, someone
Yeah,
who she even says it, we nuns are supposed to be quiet. We're supposed to lay in the background. We're supposed to be unseen, but you should know this, this, and this. Essentially outing Cardinal Tremblay as he's the one that made sure that that nun got there to offset Cardinal Joshua and cause that scandal. He orchestrated that along with hiding his paperwork to make sure that no one would ever know.
yeah.
And yeah, he is undone.
I love it because look, I've been watching John Lithgow ever since I was a kid.
Mhm.
Like I grew up watching it. I grew up with Third Rock from the Sun. I love him in How I Met Your Mother, where he plays a more softer
Marshall's dad.
character. No, it's Barney's dad.
Is it Bar
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
he's
right.
Barney's
There was
dad.
someone. You're right. You're right. You're right. I was wrong.
Yeah, and he's been showing up in like a ton of things, but man, in this, he plays such a bumbling idiot.
I thought he
Like
played a perfect asshole.
no, but he plays both. Like he really does play both. Because like the way that he defends himself is so idiotic and so like it's funny. Like I don't know how to say it, but like maybe it's because it's John Lithgow, but it's so perfect and it's super funny whenever he like tries to defend himself, and uh and then something that really like was a curve for me, something that I did not expect at all to happen, is that in those paperworks we also see that Bellini is like involved in this as well. That he took a bribe in order to support Tremblay and then keep his mouth shut and move his support over there. So like the guy that we all saw that like okay maybe he's like the guy, it's not the guy. Like everyone has a price.
Did they did they expand on that? Bellini.
They yeah they mentioned it, yeah.
I completely missed that part. This sounds like news to me.
Really?
Do we?
That's why Bellini was like, hey, like let's keep it on the wraps. It's like, no, he was involved in that shit too. That's why he randomly like flip-flopped like into supporting him.
See, I thought Bellini had wanted it because he was more like, okay, look, this is a necessary evil for us to get the win.
That's how he framed it, but
Oh, I didn't pick up on that. Okay, see, you learn something new with every viewing.
yeah. So that was that's why like at the end they kind of make up. Like they kind of like come back to each other and they try to fix things up because you can tell that these two are friends.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned Sister
Agnes.
Agnes, played by Isabella Rossellini, who plays like a perfect like background character. You know, this is like you can tell like from the start that she's gonna be like, and I say this with all the respect, sister, but like she's gonna be a bitch the whole movie in a good way, not in a oh what a bitch, but in a oh what a bitch, like
She completely
yeah,
fucked over Tremblay in the best way. He deserved it. Let's be clear. He deserved
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But she like this random no-name nun, like put the nail in his coffin.
yeah.
I wonder if
Uh,
they're like the first female cardinal, I wonder. Hmm.
Uh, maybe one day. Maybe we'll live to see it. Um, anyway, so we get to that, and then the conclave continues, and they keep doing votes because they do like they do like two a day by this point, until like the fifth or sixth one. Then we get a twist, which we have a bomber that attacks the church where they're having the conclave, and this is how you do a random bomb in a movie, Joker 2. Okay, like
What do you mean?
remember in Joker 2 when like there's a random bomb in the middle of the
Yeah, but
climax?
like,
Yeah.
what did they do better than Joker? Like, I get what you're saying, but what specifically do you mean?
This is what's genuinely like this genuinely affected the story. It moved everything along. It showed that it showed the stress of what this is because they specifically cannot take too long. Because if they take too long, then the people get anxious, they get scared. They're like, what do you mean they can't agree? Is the church not well organized? Which like, you know,
It's
we
not.
know they're not, but not in a oh it's the church it sucks in a it's a human thing,
Yeah,
like
it's a
it's
power
not,
struggle.
yeah, like it's like politics, like it's never gonna like be perfect, it's gonna be a little fucked up.
But see,
uh
I wouldn't be so like, this is just me. I wouldn't be so antsy. I'd be like, no, they're trying to figure out who really is the best option. Take as long as you need.
yeah, but they're not going to, and the people are anxious, and so they're like, no, like something needs to happen immediately. So they put it on their hands, and somebody like suicide bombs their way into like the thing. Nobody gets hurt besides like a few dirt, and they're trying to rebuild the church little by little. And then they have a great moment where they kind of get together in like this little
Theater?
like a little inside theater, and they have this conversation about like how should they move forward, how should they continue. Lawrence is trying to calm everyone down, and we have a great moment because in the background we have this character of Vincent Cardinal Benitez, who is just a fucking what a guy, what a cute little character. He shows up, he's playing with the turtles, he's having fun. He leads them in maceration at the beginning. I really like that moment where like they're all gonna eat and he
He's
leads them in
praying.
prayer and then he keeps praying so no one gets to eat.
Everyone
Uh,
like, oh,
yeah, and they just keep going. It's like, the conclave. It's just they're just like us.
oh.
Um, and
I just don't.
He keeps voting for Lawrence, and Lawrence tells him like, "Stop voting for me, man! Like you're ruining it." And he goes like, "No, señor. Like I think you're the right one. I think you're the right one." And it just keeps happening, and then finally he gives this great speech where I'll say it, a little generalized, a little hopeful, a little but the right thing to put in that moment. It felt very no
Hollywood?
God. Yeah, very Hollywood. Very what was that movie that we reviewed? The Trial of the Chicago 7?
Yes.
Yeah, it felt like something out of Trial of Chicago 7. It felt like something out of like a great speech where like the music swells and like we in the theater go like, "Oh my God, I love the movies." Um, it's not supposed to represent real life. It's supposed to represent our idealized Hollywood eyes version of real life. And that's what we go to fiction for. Okay? If I want to watch real life, I'll just,
Put on the news and get depressed.
I was gonna say something, but no, that would have been crossing the line.
No, we're back, folks. Don't go to watch that last part. Uh,
I'm sorry, was that too much?
no, I fuck them. I love it. I'm my dude, and no one's gonna know the context of what I just said, and that's okay. So,
Anyways,
so we go back to this. Well, I want to talk about what it was right before it, it's unfortunately topical. When Cardinal Tedesco
yeah.
he says like the problem is Islam, the problem is those extremists, the problem is we've been too welcoming and too kind. He's damn near calling for a damn holy war at that point with his speech of talking about how the church needs to fight against Islam, almost radicalizing them, and Cardinal Benitez's speech is what Catholicism is meant to be. Tedesco is everything that's wrong in the hypocrisy of the church. When they say we feed the poor, yeah, but you'd ride in a fucking private jet. Oh, we tend to the needy. Yeah, but you have all these pastors living in mansions. Like you can say this, but what back it up? And Benitez backs it up by saying, like, no, we need to forgive these people. We need to pray for them. We need to ask what we can do to better ourselves and better the world. That's what
Yeah.
God would actually want. You fucking hypocrites. Doesn't use
Yeah.
that phrase. All use that phrase. And this
Which
is
is
all
Which is funny because like you say that Tedesco is like what represents the worst. I think Bellini is what represents the worst because at least Tedesco is like openly racist.
fair.
Like Bellini was like, no, yes, I am. Let's do the right thing, and it's like, here's some money. It's like I'm gonna stop trying to do the right thing. Thank you for the money. Like
Do you think that how much he gave him? I wonder how much a
no,
criminal's bribe is.
I don't remember, but it must be quite a lot.
Or what if it's very little? Like, hey, I'll give you 50K, 50K.
I wouldn't betray a church for 50K. I am a 75K person or above.
Yeah, but like the problem with a lot of these guys is that they're gonna go. I'm sorry to get religious for a moment, guys. The problem with people that are overly religious, and I don't mean as in you can't not be religious, but the problem with these people that are overly religious is the fact that they always go to God will forgive me. Motherfucker, I don't think he talked to you directly. Did he say he was going to forgive you? No. So what you're saying is that you hope God forgives you and your hypocrisy, you bumbling jackass. I'm sorry. I hate people that say God knows, God knows. Yeah, no, he does know. And let me tell you this, if you're telling yourself that God says that you're right, you're legitimately what's wrong with this world. I'm sorry, I'm getting too religious here. If you're watching this right now and you think that God's always on your side, something's wrong with you. I'm not cutting that. Let's get back into the film.
Anyway, yeah, backing up, we get to this moment where like after that speech, we saw the speech and I immediately turned to you and I went like, this is what the movies are for, man. He's gonna win. Dark Horse win, man, out of nowhere. He's gonna come in like my Carolina Panthers. They're gonna come out of nowhere and they're gonna be the favorites and then they're gonna win the Super Bowl or
You know
whatever
we're
the
gonna
fuck
shit
this
stomp you
is.
guys in like 2 weeks, right?
What?
We're gonna shit stomp you guys in about 2 weeks.
Oh, we play?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're playing on December 15th.
oh, okay.
Get
Yeah,
we're
we'll
getting
see.
wrecked, son.
Well, I mean, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, anyway, he comes in and everyone's like, "Aw, he's so cute. Let's give it to him because he's so cute." And we're on the movie watching like, he's so cute.
He's gonna
And he's gonna win. And then the next day they vote and they have a very solemn moment where they're gonna walk in to put in their vote and they're all looking at like the hole that was made by the bomb. And it's like, oh, God damn it. And then they all vote, and of course, Benitez wins. And I like that we have this moment where like we see all the Cardinals get up and start clapping and start celebrating that Benitez won. And like Bellini stands up and clap. fucking Adeyemi gets up and clap, but then we see Tedesco and Tremblay, and they are not happy. It's like that moment in Karate Kid in the remake where like Jaden Smith wins and all of the students of the other teacher go and bow to Jackie Chan and the other professor's like what the fuck like just that's fucking precious like
Goddamn.
goddamn yeah I like that we're saying goddamn in this review a lot like it's just
I mean, look, man, I'm pretty sure he has bigger problems than two dipshits on a podcast, like cursing. Like,
I
believe
mean speak
we
for yourself me and the big dude are cool so like
no, no, same. All I'm saying is that we have the Antichrist on his way to the White House. The biggest hip. I'm sorry. He's selling Bibles. Give him a heart attack. Send lightning. May lightning strike me down where I stand. Like, forward that shit to him. I'm just saying.
all right. I'm just saying when it happens, it's gonna be very funny. So,
I'm gonna go back and refer to this. Please let it happen.
back to back to this. So yeah, so Benitez wins,
And
and Lawrence is very happy. And I turned to you and I went like, "This is why you put a Mexican in this shit. Like, this is this is what we fucking do. Immigrants, we get the job done." And so here we are. Lawrence is very happy, and then we have a little bit of a twist, like a little bit of an out of nowhere thing that happens, which I found very interesting when the movie was happening. I had to like go back and rewatch the movie and then like do a little bit more of more digging to be like, okay, what exactly is happening? Like, what? How do we like proceed with this? And first of all, we have a Archbishop Janus Wozniak, who is the prefect, and he's like the assistant to Lawrence, who keeps popping up. I like that he always shows up with like a clipboard and is like, so these are the updates, you know, like I like that there's a job for that, you know, cool.
Top researcher, you think?
Yeah, he's just there to like so here's a tea. Uh father like
Here's the
here's what's been
update.
happening. Here's what's been popping. And so he shows up and he's like, so there was a whole thing where like there was a trip and like the Pope paid for this trip for Benitez and like it was supposed to be an operation and like but it wasn't completed. So like you might do we like investigate this or like what the fuck? And Lawrence is like, do not say what the fuck, child. Okay. I'll look this up. So he goes to Benitez as he's being about to be presented to the world as the new pope. And they have a conversation. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, you know,
What
where's Las
bullshit is wrong
Werles?
with you?
Yeah, we're like we're like, Pope, what the fuck? And he goes like, "Oh yeah, like I was gonna have an operation for a laparoscopic hysterectomy." And it's like, and Lawrence, and like, and here's why Ralph Fiennes is perfectly cast because this is a 61-year-old man.
Uh-huh.
I've met 61-year-olds. You know, they they are not open to like new information. You know,
Yeah.
not sometimes. You know, all the times, but you gotta like you gotta ease into them. And Benitez is this good guy, so he's like, oh, what happened? I was like, okay, so this character was born intersex, was assigned male at birth, did not know he had a uterus and ovaries, and then just kept them. Could have had an operation to remove them, decided to keep them, and he says probably the most beautiful sentence in the whole movie, and it's "I am as God made me." Which is a very interesting way to like put this. And Lawrence is like, cool, I'll keep your secret. And then they take him away for the presentation.
Yeah.
I don't know how the 60-year-olds that are going to see this movie because they're like, hey, cool, I'm gonna go see that, are gonna react to this. I don't really care. My thing is that I think it's very little, very late into the movie to like add a different twist.
Hmm.
And like the way I feel it the way I took that twist was like, okay, he's definitely gonna be very different, and he's going to change like radically, uh, which is, what the church needs in this fictional world.
I'm looking.
I'm still not gonna lie. I feel like the movie got a little bit halted by that twist. I feel like we were ready to just like, oh, like all I needed was to see those two guys lose, and we were good. So I don't know. I don't know how the general audiences are gonna take that twist. I'm into it. It's definitely like weird, and like I'm into weird shit.
Mhm.
So I mean, I like this movie and everything, but I feel like the movie got like halted a little. Like we were like going in a straight line, and then it kind of like went straight, and then it ended up going high again. But like that momentum kind of got a little bit lost. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I feel like the movie, it wasn't, I'm trying to find the right words to say this.
Yeah.
It was good. The tea was there, but it felt like we were kind of floating with no engines, if that makes sense. It never felt like we were making forward progress for a general period of time during the scandal part. Because it's like, okay, there's going to be a few of these. What's going on? What's happening? Still did a very good job of slowly unraveling all the scandal, unraveling all the controversy, but it felt like we were spinning wheels for a minute there. The movie is 2 hours. I feel like they could have maybe trimmed it a little bit. I still like it for the most part. I like the final twist. I don't hate it. It was legitimately way the fuck out of nowhere, but you know what? That's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah.
The odd thing is though, if you go to the reception, it's oddly split. Like it's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Some critics like it, some critics hate the final twist. Even if you go to the religious responses, there are some people that are liking it. Like it's different, it's good. Others that are saying, so let me get this straight. If you're conservative, you're an extremist. If you're a liberal, you're a brilliant schemer. Like, and everything in between.
It's fiction,
Yeah,
man.
but
It's fiction.
we're talking about the fucking Catholic Church, which people are famously understanding from, right? Catholics are famously known for looking at new views or new takes and being like, huh, interesting outlook. I'd never thought of it that way. They're famous for that, right? That's what we have to look forward to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad that they got like the older demographic to go to the movies again because they haven't been to since before the pandemic. They
Yeah.
kind of decline of going. If this gets people back in theaters, then that's great. That's good. I'm never gonna complain about that. Um, this was a movie that I very much enjoyed. Could end up in my top 10.
Mhm.
It has a lot of rewatch value. I'll tell you that too. But
Okay.
yeah, very much enjoyed this one. I like the twist. I like where it went. I like the runtime. I love these performances. I don't know if anyone here could win an Oscar, but I really like the cinematography. I like the writing. I like the story. And honestly, I think it's one that's going to live off a lot based on like the memes and the responses and like how weirdly fun it is. Like it's kind of like Clue,
Yeah.
but in the Vatican.
I feel like there's no best actor noms, maybe best supporting actor, maybe best ensemble cast, maybe.
If
I
there
can
was a if there was some I think it just won like best ensemble in like an award. I don't know which one.
Mhm.
But if only there was like a best cast Oscar. Like I think this could take it. I think this was pretty fun.
Let's see.
Uh
It won best gala? No, probably not. Let me see. It's been nominated for quite a few things. Ensemble
that
Performance Award from Palm Springs International Film Festival.
makes sense, yeah.
And Outstanding
Um
Performer of the Year for Ralph Fiennes. I didn't think I don't know if this deserves a best actor nom, but I guess
I wouldn't be surprised if he was nominated, but I don't think he'll win.
he should
Uh
win, dude. I don't feel like there's enough going on here. I feel like the emotion wheel he has to use in this film is very limited.
yeah. Yeah. It's not like and I hate to keep making this comparison, but it's not like Grand Budapest Hotel where like he did a lot with very little, you know?
He ran
Like
the
he
fucking
keeps
gambit in that film.
like he keeps it very straight, but the things that he would say and the things that he would do would go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I love that moment where like they're about to chase him, and he goes like, "Wait a second," and he like stands up, and he just goes run. He just
Oh,
escapes
oh, shit.
running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the moment where like he's explaining Zero like what to buy with like the money, and Zero keeps trying to take the coin from his hand, and he just keeps racing it. It's very subtle. I really enjoy this. I really enjoy that performance.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not his fault. He did what the movie required him to do, and I think he knocked it out of the park. I think he was great.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if it went home with like maybe like a writing Oscar or like a cinematography Oscar. Uh, would definitely end up in the Best Picture conversation just because of an overall product. I
Yeah.
think it is one of the best movies of the year. Yeah.
As overall product, it's good tea.
Very much good tea. And like I said, extremely accessible. Like this is not one of these 3 hour like conversation movies. Like it's very dynamic. And I think both people who are not in the church are going to enjoy it. Because I've seen a lot of people who are not religious and they're having a fucking ball with this.
I believe it.
Uh so yeah, so I'm gonna give this 4.5 stars.
I'm not gonna be that kind, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna give it 7. It's not out of this world amazing to me. It's not bad. It's average. It's would I watch it again? Maybe with someone that's never seen it, so we can be like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. Me neither.
Yeah.
But it's not groundbreaking for me. It's like an elevated Mean Girls. That's all I can say.
Yeah, makes sense. I very much enjoyed it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it end up in my top 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a review of Conclave. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for allowing us also to take a week off. I think we both needed it. That was for the holidays.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a great time, hanging out with you over there. And yeah, let's keep the good vibes going. What are we reviewing next week, man?
I was thinking either Wicked or a movie I've actually been really wanting to review, especially with the certain event coming along, A Knight's Tale.
A Knight's Tale,
Heath Ledger.
the Heath Ledger one? How come?
Huh?
How come? Where did that come from?
Uh, Personal reasons I can dive into while we review it.
Okay, sure. I mean, I haven't seen it in like a long time, but
For some,
yeah, I mean,
it holds a special resonance with me, and I'll talk about it if and when we review it. I want to talk about it.
okay. Is it because they use the Nike swoosh in the armor?
I forgot about that.
Is it because they sing "We Will Rock You" in the Coliseum? Like,
Yes, that's why.
yeah, sure. I mean, I've seen Wicked. I think you still have to see Wicked. I highly recommend you watch Wicked the way God intended,
In
but
theaters.
not just in theaters. Just don't watch it as a webcam rip, man. Like, it's a 3 hour long movie. Make a day of it. Get popcorn. Sit down. Like it's a whole thing, man. Like it's.
We'll see.
Anyways, yeah. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, that was our review. Thank you so much for joining us. My name was Chema,
I've been Eddie.
and this was the Rollback. Signing off with a reminder to give yourself 2 Hail Marys and 3 Holy Fathers. Thank you all. Have a good day.
And remember, Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass. May the Lord be with you.
I knew you were gonna make that reference. I was waiting for you to squeeze it in.
And also with you. Amen.